Hello everybody, welcome to Wild Boy Movies, the place to talk movies, and today we're going to be reviewing Inside Out 2, the highest grossing animated movie of all time. Right now I'm going to have some information up on screen for you to read, like director, runtime, and PAA rating. All of that will be up on screen for you to read right now. But be sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and comment down below your thoughts on Inside Out 2. But without further ado, let's get right in to the pros. Alright, starting off, I gotta go ahead and praise the animation of this movie. Nothing against the animation from the last Inside Out movie, but 9 years later, they definitely improved on the animation to where this is visually the best movie of the year. Like, there are some shots in this movie that look so good that to me compare the scenes that we've seen in the Avatar movies from James Cameron. And speaking of the animation, I loved how even though this is a 3D animated movie, they still incorporated some other elements of animation into this movie, whether that be 2D animation or video game animation. I really love how they incorporated those two types of animation into this mainly 3D animated movie. I also gotta go ahead and praise the cast for this movie because once again, they do a great job in this movie. I thought Amy Poehler did a great job as Joy, and Phil Smith as well did a good job as Sadness. The returning actor that really stole the show for me was Lewis Black as Anger. That might be a bias because I absolutely loved the character of Anger. I thought he was the funniest player of the first movie, but he once again does a great job in this movie. And some of the new actors in here also do a great job, like Maya Hawke as Anxiety. I thought she did a very good job as this new emotion, and the other new emotions I thought were done very well, from ennui, envy, and embarrassment. They all did such a great job in this movie. And let's go ahead into the characters of Disgust and Fear because they recast the characters. In this movie, it's no longer Bill Hader and Mindy Kaling. Instead, it's now Tony Hale and Lisa Lapria, who I'm just gonna say, Lisa Lapria, in my opinion, is a lot better than Mindy Kaling in terms of how she played the character Disgust. Like, nothing against Mindy Kaling, but I think Lisa was a better voice actress for Disgust rather than Mindy Kaling. Although I will say I will prefer Bill Hader over Tony Hale in terms of Fear. I thought Tony Hale did a fine job as the replacement for Fear. I also gotta go ahead and praise the story in this movie. While yes, I do think it does rehash some elements from the previous movie, I thought they did enough to where they made the story their own. Well, unlike in the first movie where Riley was 11 years old, she's now a teenager at 13 years old, gaining new emotions, and I think that story was done so well. I also really liked how they introduced new things into this movie, one of them being the vault where Riley's secrets are kept. But the biggest one for me has to be the belief system. Now, when the trailer came out, I did not know what this thing was, but now having seen the movie, I was like, oh, that's a pretty cool idea. And it is like a huge central plot point to this movie. Like, I thought they handled the belief system in this movie very, very well. I also gotta go ahead and praise the movie of this being like an unnecessary sequel. We're gonna use Toy Story 4 and 5. Like, there's definitely a reason for this movie existing. Like, this is Riley now a teenager compared to when she was like an 11-year-old in the first movie. Like, they touch upon things that a normal teenager would do in real life, to where I would not mind a third Inside Out movie where we tackle Riley as an adult. Like, this is one of those franchises where I think a sequel could work out very well. Unless we get to like a third or fourth movie. If they continue milking it beyond then we can say it's another Toy Story situation. Now bringing it to my biggest pro of the movie, It's how they handle more mature subject matter in this movie. Now, I'm not talking about some adult material that you would find in R-rated movies. I'm talking about stuff that like a teenager would go through. Like, they include an anxiety attack in this movie, and I thought that scene went so hard and it was done so perfectly. This has to be one of the most mature Pixar movies that we've ever gotten, where it tackles the themes of growing up and dealing with anxiety, and that was towards the relatable factor to some of these viewers who have gone through this sort of stuff before. But they've done that so well that I am not surprised on why this movie ended up grossing over $1 billion. This is absolutely such a very well done movie that I consider to be one of the best Pixar movies of all time, probably even in the top 3 of my opinion. So yeah, if you couldn't tell, I absolutely love this movie. Like, I think that they've done a lot of great things in this movie to make it feel relatable to some of these older viewers. Along with amazing animation, this is definitely one of the best movies that I've seen in 2024. But there's still one thing that I didn't really like about the movie, leading me to my con. And that is the story. Now, while I did put that in the pro side of my review, I do think they kind of rehashed some things that we saw from the previous movie. Like when Joy realizes that there's nothing that she can do, that feels like a rehash of what happened towards the end of the first Inside Out movie. But that's just like a minor nitpick for me. Other than that, this is such an amazing movie that I seriously wanted to win Best Animated Feature at the Oscars. So for my scorecard, I'm gonna give Inside Out 2 5 stars, with the score out of 10 being 10 out of 10, with the percentage being 100%, with a grade of A+, with my final verdict being a top tier Pixar movie. But that was my review on Inside Out 2. I want to hear from you guys. What did you think about this movie? Go ahead and leave your thoughts down in the comments section. And while you're at it, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next video. And have a great day.